Welcome to the Hampshire 1900 start for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 30th of June 1930, which is a couple of months on from the end of the last part. The game's on pause for a fairly obvious reason, the fact that we're running out of money. So what we're going to have to do is take out a loan in this part. But before we get into rolling forward, I just want to give a bit of an update of where we are. Because at the moment we are, well, in reasonably good condition. The problem now is we've got a bit of a financial crisis. One thing I do need to keep an eye on is pollution, because if you look very carefully here now, we've got some pollution spreading out towards these buildings here. So we may be a little bit too close with respect to our buildings here. And also, quite interestingly, a lot of the pollution is actually coming from the rural bakery. So that's something that we will need to keep an eye on. And so beyond that, in this area, things are slowly coming together. I think what I will do is we're just kind of put that together the best we can, so we can complete this roundabout. Over here, probably the one thing we need to work on now, and this is a key element of what we're going to have to do for the next few parts, is think about self-sufficiency. I think what we will do is get that farm underway now. I think that's what we need to think about from that perspective. The rest of the area around here is going fairly good, although to be honest, we're tying up a lot of workforce in this area. But at the moment, I'm quite happy with that, in the sense the fact that we don't have any other use for them at the moment. Although I need to think about the prioritization of this area, because see, you've got a bit of a kind of inconsistency in the fact that we've got a nice little road kind of thing over here. Yeah, I think we may need to start thinking about using the incinerator, but that's something that may need a little bit of decision. Now, the last couple of parts, the focus has been very much on this area here. And this is where we do need to finish off our oil refinery. And at the moment, we've got, we're building in this pipe, because if you watch the previous part, you'll be aware that I had a bit of a problem here. In the sense that we need to finish off this. Then we need to make the connection to the border, which is this is the reason why we're going to need a loan. This has to be built. We've possibly got this underway now. In the sense that I think what we might do is get these guys working on that as well. And possibly that. So that's the current situation. The other thing we need to do here is think about, again, self-sufficiency. And that's going to be self-sufficiency in food and alcohol in this area. And if I kind of go back to the economy, if we look at our kind of exports, at the moment we're kind of exporting a reasonable amount in boards, a little bit of fuel. We're not actually, the problem at the moment is we've got a bias against the bitumen. But the deadly thing is the imports, and you can see the biggest one across the top is the curse of steel. Now, there's not much we can do about that. So what we can do is start to try and mitigate the food, the alcohol here. If we can wipe out these 15 tons of food here, and more importantly, then start reducing the amount we're spending on crops, because you can see at the moment we're kind of spending about 5,000, which is gonna be, and the less crops we import, the more profit we make. So that's what we got to do. So the next thing is we need to get a loan. In fact, I'm just gonna because there's no way we're gonna finish this off without loan, and we're not gonna make the money. So we're gonna go into here now. When it comes to loans, you got to be very, very careful not to get too carried away. Now you can see here the fact that we can borrow up to 2 million rubles. And the way the loan works is the amount you can borrow depends on the size of your economy. So if you've got a very small economy, you can borrow less. But and then of course, the bigger your economy gets, the more you can borrow. Now, I'm going to decide on the amount first. I think we're going to start with about 100,000. Now, the next thing here you can see is the duration. Now, we can't pay back 100,000 in 6 months. I think, and you can see the longer you got to keep it, the longer you actually keep the money, the more interest you pay. Now, when you take out a small loan, what you want to do is go for a short period of time so that you can keep the interest rate low on your repayment. See, the minimum is 2%, but if we go for a year, now that there's a good chance we won't pay this off in a year, but we can always make another loan if we're starting to turn around the income to pay off that loan, and then we can actually pay it off in a shorter period of time, if that makes sense. So we're going to borrow 100,000 and over a 1 year period, and then we're just going to let the game run. We're going to play on high speed, and the main thing I'm interested in here is this area. We've got another new, so we've got the vehicles coming in now. So we've got this running. We've got the oil refinery is doing okay, but the trouble at the moment is that until we get this built, we're going to have a problem. So this is the priority. Now, while we're here, because we might as well work in this area while we're going here, I want to work on the food setup. Now, based on the pollution I showed you, because what I want to do is we're going to plan some new accommodation here. We're going to carry on using these historic apartments. And what we're going to do is I don't want to crowd in too much into this area. But I think what we can do is get in, put in historic. Oh, that's how I spell it right. Residential. These are cheap because they don't need steel, and they also don't need road. No, it's this one. Got historic flats there. We're going to build out in hundreds. Of course, we've got water here, which is good. And what I want to do is to say I don't want to crowd in too much into that area. But what I want to do is put 2 blocks there. And then we're going to take out a footpath from here. And we're going to come out to about, actually we're going to come in a little bit like that, come out like that. And then we're going to run behind like that. To that, no, that's, no, it's a bit too close. Let me just, I'd rather be a bit further out. Well, we can have a wiggly footpath there. Now this is going to be asphalt. What I will do is build a gravel footpath there. And we'll put in a mud footpath there. And put you on the back there. And then what we'll do is go back to here. So we've got no water there, so we're going to have to come in. I'm going to come in fairly close. Oh, we're going to have to put water out here anyway. So, okay, so we don't need to be too... Just make sure that can connect. And then what we can do, so we're going to have to run water out here. I mean, I was being a bit optimistic anyway. Going to leave a little bit of a space here. Now we need to check, make sure we don't impinge too much. Yeah, we're right on the edge of the woodcutter there. And we possibly could put in there. So we're going to have to bring a road out here. Actually, I think I might actually put the road out here. I'm going to put a road through like that to there. Because what we're going to have to do is put in the feed converter here. No. We know we can put a road there, so I think we'll leave that there. Now, so we got this here. Now, if we go back over to here, we look at the pollution again. The pollution's spreading out as far as here. So we measure that distance. That's spreading. So we got to go out about 300 meters beyond this here. So say for example I come out, we start about there and we come out to about 300, go a bit further, say to about there. So that tree there, let me just mark that. And let me just go and look at, right, what we got here is this setup. If I clone this, let's just see, just going to very quickly drop a save. The reason I dropped the save is that the clone system can be a little bit tetchy sometimes. Take that up. Go over to here. Over here. Yeah. So say for argument's sake, I put you about there. So you put you about there. Remove that. And just tidy up the footpath. And that footpath there, that footpath there. And of course we just remove the road round the back as well. Because I actually do I need, I think we'll stick with the warehouse. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to pick a road across like that, maybe across like that, and then I think if we take a road out that way, bring a road up through there like that, and another road across like that, to say there. Just want to rejig the distance, check the distance again. Yeah, it's 400 meters. And so what we're going to have is this out here, this here, this connected to there. We can take a road out here past the food thing. Now comes the, what I'm going to actually do is we're going to do exactly roughly the same as what we did over here. Now the actual workforce we're going to need isn't much, but we might want to expand it over time. Then again, I suppose I could always use a bus route. I mean, why overcomplicate it? Yeah, I think we're not going to bother with a cableway. What we will do is put you there, out that way as well. We're going to build out the road system here. Use this bus station here. We're going to build out to here make the necessary connections, and then build in this area here. Can I actually, let me just see, because this is going to be just pure crops, isn't it? Let me just see. Now, one temptation you've got to be very careful with when you do an early start is, like, you can look at things like this and say, oh yeah, I can build this. This is great. In fact, it is pretty good actually. Can I get that? Oh yeah. Yeah, what we're going to do is, if I can put you there, we can get a factory connection from there to there. That's pretty good actually. Because what it means is we've got flat space here. And what I could do, we can make this even simpler with respect to transport. I think what I might do is we'll actually push the distance here with respect to a farm. Now the farm's going to be, actually if we put the farm there, that'd be even better. Push it out a little bit like that. That'd be great. So we're going to put a large farm here. Right, I'm just going to hold the shift button down here. Now this is going to represent a very big investment, but it will be quite a key investment, because if we can produce clothes and alcohol here, that will open up the option to produce meat, and then we can produce the farm round it over time. So oh, come on game, you can do it. We'll get there eventually with the leveling. Okay, nearly there. It's taken a little while to get the leveling done. It always does, like everything to do with early starts. It takes a lot of bit of time. We've got grain storage, we've got farmer there, and that means we can push this road out a little bit further this way, and then we can bring this road in here. Now grain silos always have one-way road systems, so, and we can push this out here. Now we're not going to rush to the farm. What we're going to do is just work on getting this area up and running. So we're just going to let these guys work on what they're doing. It looks like we've actually now got fuel trickling in here. So that means that we can now change this, bring you to here, and just remove you for the moment. I mean, got a little bit of fuel coming into here. Right, we've now got this done, so we can now pick these guys up, copy everything to there, and then tell them all to change workplace. But what we will do is change the fuel pickup point for the moment. Oh, it's already assigned. That's good. So that means that we can remove the pickup for the refinery. Just remove the refinery from there. So we got that there. Let me just see. See, the money's trickling. Right, we've nearly finished this connection, which will give us that input there. So the other one, this one is now finished to here. What that will mean is that once this is finished, this can pull the bitumen to here, or here, sorry. So once this is, we've got this done, nearly there actually. Okay, we had a fire. Where do we have the fire? Oh, over here. That's good. How are we doing here now? Back to here. So we got the farm started. What we've got to do now is start planning our here with respect to I think what we'll do is we'll put this guy here. A little bit of a, and of course what we're going to need to do here is put in the road connection there. How are we doing? Okay, we got a little bit there, which means we need these guys to fill in the gap there. We're not going to worry too much about up there. Every instinct I feel says build this up here, but at the same time part of me says not yet. I think what we can do is build that dump there and this dump, because dumps don't tend to burn down, and the same with bus stations. So I think we can build in those bits, start doing the groundwork, because what I would like to do is get rid of this, because partly this is, I mean, as you can see here that we're staying ahead of the overall process, but I feel this would be the neater solution not going, but we do need this more urgently. Right, I think what we're going to do now is going to go mud roads so that we don't mess up the guys, and we're going to push this road out here. Now I want to leave space here for delivering fertilizer. So what I could, oh yeah, we've also had research. Let me just see. I'm pretty sure it said that research had finished. Let me just do that. Let me just see. Okay, we've now got this here. I think we will go. It says research. Let me just check the research tree. Yeah, we've done all the main research now. What we've got to do is vaccination development. We're going to go and develop vaccines. I think that would be a worthwhile research. We've got no real research with respect to our the Communist Party. That's the red flags research. And here we've got aeroplane manufacture, aluminum production. So we're kind of in a little bit of an impasse at the moment, in the sense that we're now running into the timestamps. I think I'm still going to use the time. So we've now got steel, we've got this here. We've got aeroplane, dry docks. I think we're just going to go for researching this out. So I think, well, we'll go for aluminium, because once it's done, and that's all there is to it. So we've got this area here. Right, let's just get back to the farm. Look at that, we're actually making a profit. That's because we're not buying steel. Right, I think, we got flat terrain here. Now, the model here we got here is we got 2 large fields, which I think we're going to start with. We're going to put I think the 2 big fields, I think having them close in will make a difference. So if I put in, I was going to put in a dump, didn't I? How big's the dump we got in here? This is a small dump, 80 tons of fertilizer. I think we'll put I'm going to put a small dump there. Yeah, we'll put a small dump there. And of course we could sort the fuel supply out later on. Right, I'm going to push you across like that. So then we can put in the 2 big fields here. Just make sure it's not truncated. Yeah, 4 point. You can see these run at 70%. I think 2 fields would be enough. I just want to make sure. So yeah, we got potential capacity along the edge of the river here for 2 fields. So we're going to put 2 large fields there. Let me just get rid of that. And then I think to begin with, we're going to put in. Can't really see the edge of the fields here. 2, 3, 4 that way along that path. Get a 5th medium field there. We can extend that one out. And we'll put 1, 2, 3 medium fields along there. I think that's enough to be going on with. And what I'm going to do is let's remove these for the moment. And then we're actually going to grab all that. That road crew is working on that. That's good. We're probably going to need another distribution office here eventually to bring the crops up from here to there, which implies that we might as well put a road in here, because we certainly don't want them going all the way around there. So we can need that road built. We're actually making... What are we actually making from exports? It's the alcohol and the fuel. But again, the main thing is we're not importing. See, the moment we don't import steel, we make profit, which is good. How are we doing? Yeah, we got the fuel running. Let me just see how well. Right, the export guy. Push that. I'm going to push the distance down. Here, there. What I'm going to do is actually, how many? Okay, I'm going to buy a couple of tankers here, which is going to hit our profits, but that's okay. Oil tankers, capacity. Now you can see here that we're starting to get this one here. This is 6.5. Right, we've got to get 2 steam oil tankers there. You're going to pick up from there, just bitumen, and you are going to, where's the custom shed? Export bitumen. What we'll do is take this one off of exporting bitumen. So you're not going to export, you're just going to export fuel. The what that would mean is that will be our long-term fuel exports. So that means that I think at the moment with this we can leave it the way it is, because our fuel consumption is so small compared to there. Now we do need to start thinking about pushing out this way. But so we got an oil pump there. Let me just see what's the, oops. So we got a pipe that runs from there into there. Let's have a look at our pipeline here. Right, we've got an input there. Now we've only got 2 inputs here. I think if we flip you that way, that says on water. We put you there. because we do want to expand this out further. Because I think we've still got some capacity for oil there. Now, somebody did post a comment about trying to get the maximum amount of oil out of a certain area. Not oil, coal, and whether to build 2 coal mines or just 1. Now, when it comes to things like coal mines and iron mines, I prefer, due to the sheer numbers of workforce you've got to put in to get it out. Bear in mind that I think a coal mine, if I remember correctly, is about 220. Yeah, you need 220. That means you need a workforce of 660. So putting a 220 people in to, say, extract 10% coal is not. But when it comes to pump jacks, though, that's a different story, because pump jacks don't require workforce. So because you don't require workforce, that means that you don't actually have to worry about, sending workers out. I mean, once you've got the power out and everything connected, then it's effectively what you're getting is the fuel for basically for the cost of electricity. So when it comes to pump jacks and things like that and extracting oil, yes, I will kind of try to get every single last drop out of there. Oops, oh, cool. It's a bit of luck. A brief moment then I thought I'd gone out too far. So we've now got that there, but of course I'm not going to put the power in just yet. I'll do the leveling out here to get this last one there. Plus the fact we could probably use the road here to make a road connection into there. Actually, where is the oil? Let me just see. We got the oil about there. Let me just pause a bit. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to kind of get enough land for this last pump jack. In fact, we'll make the connection across through to there, and then that means we can finish off this oil field and develop it, kind of thing. If we make the road connection there, maybe push it a little bit like that. See how much we can get out of here. We can get, it says can't build on water. Okay, that's because this land is still on water level, the height from the center. So when something like this, you just bring in the land from a natural high point. So you can see it's just probably that bit there. So what we'll do is we'll just scrub this in like this. There's 66% just there. So we keep pushing this out this way. Just get you there like that. That's 71%. Actually, we might be able to get, if we get, what was it? And that's 69. I'm sure I had a 71 there. Okay, it looks like we've got 70% there. I think what we will do is we'll just shove a road across like that. I mean, and then that means we can push the road out this way later on. Put you there, except that. I think before we build out this way, we will, because we're going to need fire protection out here. I mean, we won't have proper fire protection until we've actually how can you put it? We won't have proper fire protection out here until we've actually got helicopters, which is a long time in the future. And we'll make that to ensure that we got the fire protection while we build this out. And we'll let these guys, well, we'll just do it in stages. In fact, I think I wouldn't mind building that as well. So we'll just keep the road crews doing their stuff. Right, we've got bitumen in there, so the bitumen's building up quite nicely. How are we doing here? Oh, this is not allocated. Oh, big fail, big fail. You on the groundworks. Put that on high priority. Okay, these guys need a workforce to build that. Probably need that built there. And what we got here, yeah, we need the workforce on that as well. Commit everybody to that. And of course we just bought a pile of steel. Last month, yep, 49 tons of steel. We're gonna have to you can see there, 48 tons of steel. Right guys, what I'm going to do now is obviously I'm waiting on this, and I would like to get this finished in this part. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play on, and I'll be right back once we make this connection so that we can actually export the bitumen without using vehicles. So I'll see you once I actually get to that point. Welcome back for this update, because I've had a little bit of a disaster which I didn't notice, and that is that on the 13th of August we've actually had a fire that burnt down our heating plant, which is a little bit of a problem in the sense that we got winter coming in and we've got no heating plant, which is going to cause a bit of a problem. We've also got now a new vehicle type. We've actually got a bulldozer here. It's a Holt 75, which I think is actually a what we call it, a NATO vehicle. We've also got this here. It says Thomas the Tank Engine. So we've got that there. I'll just go and check to see if it is a Holt. I mean, I'm pretty sure Holt is actually a NATO bulldozer. Let me just see. Bulldozer. Yeah, we got a Holt here. I mean, it's got a nice top speed of 20. The problem's going to be is actually seeing if we can get that in. I mean, it'd be very useful to have that, but at the same time, as I say, it can be a bit of a problem getting it in from a NATO border. Anyway, so at the moment we've got to prioritize this. This has to be absolute 100% high priority, which is going to cause a little bit of a delay here. This is medium priority. This doesn't seem to be doing anything at the moment, so I think we need to get you onto there to build that. This is being built. This is being built. We got you can see here the problem with foreign pipelines is there's a lot of workforce needs to be poured into that. Over here, we are making pretty good progress on our farm. And what we got here, okay, we need these guys to come in and finish the factory connection there. This one's probably not quite so important. So we are putting this in here. And the other thing, oh yeah, we need this built as well, because we can't build the silo until we've actually got this road built. So this has to be a high priority as well. The other thing I was looking at just before is I don't think we're actually going to get all these roads built. So I'm going to put you there, put these back in again, because we can make good progress with the farm here. I would really like, if possible, to get the in here. I think what we're going to do is put another field there. Just keep the game rolling forward. You can come to there. I think we've now got this road connection, so I think we're going to shove a road out there. Road there. Road there. Road there. I'm not going to put a field here for the moment, but what I would like to do, if possible, is push this road out that way, and we are going to put a couple more medium fields out here, one on this side, one there, one there. Now we may not use all these fields when the farm first goes into operation, but the principle I'm working on is that if the fields sit here and do nothing, they will accrue fertility. So that's our new farm planned out. We need that connection built there. Yeah, these guys will soon finish that factory connection. This factory connection is not quite so important. I think what I will do is you need to keep an eye on our cash as well. I think we can get these guys in here. Help. Oh, we got some new vehicle types. Okay. Wow. Okay, we got Russian Bolt. Now it'll be going to be quite interesting to see whether they are mods or the actual DLC. So what we're going to do is come here, turn off that. Okay, yeah, it looks like we've actually now broken into the DLC. So what we got here, we've got a concrete meter, and of course what we're 17 kilometers an hour. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I was hoping for some speed. 31 kilometers. That's not bad, but it's not got that much carry capacity. 5 tons. We still don't really have. Got a steam locomotive here. 92,000. So these are going to be useful after a fashion, but they're not going to be super useful. Because one thing I'm going to do is the fact that we now producing our own fuel. This area here, I want to move away from, if possible, away from using wagons now. So we're going to move more and more towards using the steam, which of course uses fuel as well, and also the what we call it, because there's no point using these stations now, these feeding yards, in the long term, because we've got local source of fuel. Now, Eastleigh is a different situation in the sense that we won't have an independent source of fuel. Now, I did think a little bit, in case any of you are wondering, about the viability of actually using trains to actually bring fuel up from Warstock to Eastleigh. Now it is possible, seeing that we've already got a line built, and it's a very big but, I don't really feel that's got to be a priority. I think the real priority is first to get a self-sufficiency with the economy, in the sense that at the moment we're just kind of hanging in there economy wise. So we need a self-sufficiency with respect to the economy there, and then move towards construction material self-sufficiency, which would be the next step. But so at the moment we're going to pour a lot more resources into here, because we need this area built up so that we can actually get this farm operational. But more important, if we can start producing our own food and alcohol here, we can then move to meat. And what that will mean is that will remove, so we'll be self-sufficient in the basic supplies. Because of course we've already got crops over here. How are you guys going? Come on, we're running out of time. We're on the 29th of September. The temperature's falling. Come on guys, crack on please. What I want is, there's anything else high priority. No, wool stock, plant, wood. Okay, so say this area is not that important, although what's our population like at the moment? 1st of October last month. Yeah, see, if we're not careful, we're going to lose population. I think as a precaution, oh no, we're still doing the medical research, aren't we, for vaccines? Let me just see. Where's the Yeah, we got a long way to go. The medical research is very, very slow at the moment. How's the food supplies in here? This is full, actually. Okay. Because we got crops in here which are wasted at the moment, so we do need to sort this out. So what we'll do is we'll drop off here, they go up to here, back, and that way across like that. How are we doing with the crop harvesting here? Okay, so we got the fields are being cleared, so we're in a ideal situation in the sense that but I feel that we're lagging a little bit at the moment. Kind of wondering whether we actually need, I don't think I can really improve what we're using for let me just go out to over here. I'm just wondering whether we should invest in these burrows. Let me just see. I mean, if we're going to do it, we need to do it now because it's going to take a. You're level 7. What can we get from the burrow? When we got 625,000. I mean, that would really speed up. Okay, we're going to make a decision here. Oh, the other thing I've spotted off camera was when I was planning this is if I show you the pipeline connections, these the DLC farms, which are the ones that we've currently, the only ones we've got currently available, don't have pipeline connections for fertilizer. Let me just see if I come into here. What we're going to do is actually, I'm not going to scrap them. I'm going to send one. I'm going to send you to there. Or can I buy the burrows? Yes, I can. I'm going to spend 3,000 on that. I mean, we could use the reindeers. Yeah, I think if we get 2 more burrows into there, actually what I am going to do is we're going to take a precaution here because it's going to take a long time for these guys to. We're going to buy 4 more. Sowing 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are going to one, 2, 3, 4. What we're going to do is bring them here so they're ready to go straight into the farm, which is now finished. Okay. Okay, so let's not pick those up just yet. That one we can't add. So we've got the farm here ready to go. We are going to need to deliver fuel for the burrows. So where's my... Cannot assign more buildings. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to need to address that. What have we got? Technically, we've... yeah, we got these waste burning pits, haven't we? And we've got... maybe I need... we're running the alcohol from here, aren't we? Let me just see... Shop distribution. I mean, we got some spare capacity here, so if I say pick up the alcohol. See, these guys are already doing the alcohol. So why is my fuel, guys? What are you delivering? Have you just got a redundant connection in here? Old City Bar. Yeah, we got a redundant connection in here, which we don't need anymore. Okay, we're just going to remove you. Eastleigh Food and Alcohol. Where's that? Yeah, yes. Okay, we're just going to remove you as well. I mean, and that means we can get you to deliver fuel to there. And we come back to here. Okay, it says you're picking up from Eastleigh Close, but there's 2 tons of alcohol in there, but okay. Actually, but we can. What I'm going to do it that way to make it clear. Okay, and we are going to remove that from there. So basically now you should be picking up from there, shouldn't you? Okay, let me just actually no, well, you're going to pick up directly because these are the export guys. So you should take priority on your food and supplies. Yeah, that makes sense. Heating problem. Yes, I know. Because this is not built. Come on. Crack on, please. This is going to be a problem. Okay, we've now finished another round of research, and so we've only got airplane manufacture left. Get that done. Get you there. See, this is wait. Look, got got steel, we just need bricks. Anyone delivering bricks, please? Come on. Yeah, we got the 12 tons of bricks on the way. Where are you? Okay, the bricks is on the way. Otherwise we're going to lose population. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're already losing. No, we're ahead, still ahead at the moment, but this is not good. Okay, we got a few people just pushing it along slowly. No, we've finished that pipeline. We finished this pipeline. We are making money again. So we just need to get this finished. This is going to, oh no, we're down to 182. So this is going to finish. How's the pipeline here? This is going to finish. So now what I'm going to do is because we're so close here now, I'm going to describe what's going to happen. Is that if this works according to plan, we've got 175 tons of bitumen in here. Once this is finished, again, we've got, in fact, what we'll probably do is finish this, and then switch on the pump. Hopefully we'll have electricity, and then what will happen is all the 170 odd tons of bitumen here will just go whizzing straight out through that, and then we'll make a pile of cash, and we might even make enough money to pay off the debt. But you can see we are accumulating fuel. I think we can still keep an eye on, okay, how are we doing here? Yeah, we've got enough now to finish this stage. What we need next is the steel. See, this is one of the problems when with early starts and the slow delivery speeds, especially for things like mechs. And probably one of the first things we'll actually replace is, let's have a look at the covered hull here. See, this is 31 and he carries, so what we might do is one of the first upgrades we may actually go for is actually this one's faster, but it carries less. What we might do is actually start thinking as upgrading our covered hulls for like construction delivery to the Russo Bolt, because it actually moves faster. But of course the sting in the tail is the fact that we're going to need snow plows, and the only snow plows we got at the moment is, well, we got one here that does, see, it's got a ploughing speed of 10-12 kilometers. We've got the reindeers. We could turn the reindeers free, and that would give us a top speed of 22 kilometers an hour. The alternative is that we come to street sweepers. Now the trouble with street sweepers is they actually need a workforce, but we can switch them on and off. But what these do is they actually how can you put it? They sweep a fixed area and they produce gravel. So you've got to send someone around and collect the gravel. So you need a gravel store. But what these do is they clear a fixed area. I think the description in the mod says they sweep up the undesirables that drop on the street when you're using wagons. You can see it produces 0.1 tons of gravel per day. But more importantly, what it does is it keeps the road clear. So what we might do is put some of these in key kind of areas. But the trouble is it uses a lot of workforce. And at the moment we've got 59 unemployed. So that could work. But then again, let's see where our unemployed are. Yeah, we got some unemployed down here. So we could put a street sweeper there. And of course, we're actually going to have unemployed over here. So we could put in a street sweeper here. Now, what we've got is the warehouse is now empty. And we've got, this is full of food. Again, what we might use is a Russo bolt for this. Because if he's moving backwards and forwards here at 35 kilometers an hour, we might be able to get a benefit from that, even if he's using fuel. Right. Alright, we've got a little bit of fuel in here. I don't think... Alright, we got the barrels. While I'm thinking about it, we're gonna... the barrels in first. And then we'll have a look at the... we're gonna have 4 barrels in here, 4 harvesters. I think for this year, we're just to kind of get a bit of a leg up. We'll put them in, but we'll probably get rid of them. We'll see how well the sowing actually goes. What's the fertility? 85%. It's going to take a little while to build up the fertility. I think we've got a little bit of cash. I'd like to get that underway, because I'd like to have this ready by the next harvest. Okay, we're kind of on November, and we're getting crops into there. Right, let me just get back over to here, because I want to kind of show you that lift off. Come on, guys. We need the steel. Anyone delivering steel? Come on. Right, looks like you're off to get the steel, and you're off to get the mech components. So, hopefully we're going to crack that. Okay, this is... oh, wow. Did that do that? No, it's not quite finished yet. Okay, export. Right. The moment it says import, what should happen now, if it's all working correctly, if we flip you to export, see what I'm doing? This is the reason why you use separate capabilities, because what will happen now is this will start to export from here, so we can remove you from there. We don't need you anymore there, so that means that we can remove this. What will happen now is this will come into here, and what you will see is this will disappear continuously. I mean, and what will happen is this will appear to be empty all the time. And what you'll see, if you watch carefully, you'll see the game will flicker. And what we'll have now with the exports, I just let the game run. What you'll see now is this will just constantly tick up with bitumen. See it? You can see it will just tick up all the time now. And this is, as I say, this is the reason why that when you do this, you've got to have the separate fuel tank here. So when we come to be using bitumen, which we will do once we get our construction office up and running, once we start to use bitumen, what that will be doing is we'll set the priorities on this. I think it's this pump, isn't it? Yeah, this pump. So that what we'll be doing is sending enough bitumen to this tank to what we will need for, say, our asphalt, which although we won't need that much asphalt. But more importantly, what we'll have is this out here. So we've now got that export market going. It's going to tick up a little bit all the time now. But you can see, well, we still need to work on balancing our export economy. Come on, guys. Right, these guys are just arriving. You should deliver that. That would get our heating back. We're not getting that much. We get the heating going again. I think the problem is that our fire station is over here. I think we need to protect this area here. Actually, can we get a better fire truck now? Let's have a look. Fire truck. Let's have a look. What have we got in the way of fire trucks? Okay, we've got this Russo bolts. What we're going to do is I think it's time to spend a little bit of money upgrading our fire service. Okay, let me just see what we got here. I think what we'll do is sell you, or not sell you, put you there. I'm just going to buy another one of those. Although part of me still says putting another fire station down here. Although we got a fire station over here. Oh, I could have sent that fire truck over here, but that's okay. Because that one was a wagon. Where this one, these are the steam ones. Right, we've now got our heating back. Yeah, we got our heating back. It's going to make everyone happy, and we should build up our happiness here. As you can see here, there's low culture, prison, hospital, unable to get electronics, crime. Yeah, so we need to get that happiness back up again. The other thing which I haven't checked for a little while, just to wind this video up, is secret police. Okay, we got a little bit of crime there, but we'll just flip back over to here because we can't afford the crime to get out of control. Police station, how's the courthouse going? Courthouse has got no problems. And we've got 53. So we're going to have to start thinking about another prison soon. Okay, what we got here? 379, 379. Now it's time to do the fertility check. This one is finished. You need to be switched off. That's 137%. That's 142%. That's 51%. We've actually got... My instinct is to switch that one off as well. I think we're getting a little bit more in the way of productivity. Right, that's 89%. That's 92%. Now, some of these I mean, we're getting a little bit better. What we really need is a harvester. We got a better harvester. Let me just share it. Let's have a quick look. We got steam combine, which is 10. We've got a thoroughbred. We've got a horse-drawn combine. You see, there's not a lot in it at the moment. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. What I will do is play through until the spring, because there's not much point. What we're doing is just waiting for things to be built. In fact, one thing talk about things to be built is I think we'll take advantage of here and we'll get rid of the sweep. We don't need it. Not this winter. Well, but what I will do is put in a distribution office just here. Get the road crew on. We need to build that distribution office to take the crops up to there. Anyway, so until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.